Then the Tathagata congratulated the four great kings and said, "Excellent, excellent, O great kings! O you four great kings, again excellent! You have performed perfectly for hundreds of thousands of millions of eons for the sake of this peerless, perfect enlightenment. Do protect, save, guide, look after, avert retribution, and ensure peace and happiness of a king of humans who listens to, venerates, and worships the King of Glorious Sutra, the Sublime Golden Light. Likewise, do protect, save, guide, look after, avert retribution, and ensure peace and happiness of those royal courts, cities, lands, and regions. Do set free those lands from all fears, harms, and strife. Do turn back foreign armies. Do take delight in ensuring that the kings of Jambudvipa do not fight, do not allege, do not dispute or wage war. If in the 84,000 cities in this Jambudvipa 84,000 kings remain immensely happy and contented in their own land, remain immensely happy with power over their kingdom, do not intimidate each other with stockpiles of wealth, do not generate violence against each other, are contented with the lordship of a king over their kingdom achieved according to the karma they have gathered, do not threaten one another, and do not advance to destroy lands, but instead, if the 84,000 kings and the 84,000 cities in this Jambudvipa have loving thoughts for each other, mutual loving and caring thoughts, and do not fight, allege, dispute, or wage war, and remain very happy in their own lands, then as a result of this, you four great kings with your armies and retinue will flourish. That region will have years of good harvest, will be relaxed and happy, and the land will be full of people and men. The land will become lush. Seasons, months, fortnights, and entire years will be marked by abundance and plenty. The planets, stars, moon, sun, day and night will move smoothly. Rain will continually fall at the right times. All beings in the whole of Jambudvipa will be rich with wealth and grain. They will be wealthy. They will not be miserly. Instead, they will be generous. They will follow the path of 10 virtuous deeds. Most of them will be born into worlds of higher states of existence. The divine lands of gods will be full of gods and their divine children. O great kings, suppose a certain being becomes a king of humans. If he then listens to, venerates, and worships this King of Glorious Sutra, the Sublime Golden Light, and also if he respects, reveres, venerates, and worships bhikshus, bhikshunis, upasakas, and upasikas, who uphold this King of Glorious Sutra, the Sublime Golden Light, and if out of sympathy for you four great kings, along with your army and retinue and many thousands of yakshas, he continually listens to this King of Glorious Sutra, the Sublime Golden Light. Then with the nectar of the waterfall of Dharma teachings, he will satisfy your bodies. The great majesty of your divine bodies will increase. He will induce perseverance, energy, and power, and this will increase your majesty, glory, and excellence. This King of humans will make inconceivable, great, vast offerings to me, the Tathagata, the Arhat, the perfectly enlightened Buddha Shakyamuni. With all his inconceivable, great, and vast material resources, this King of humans will make offerings to hundreds of thousands of millions of past, future, and present Tathagatas too. Therefore, great protections will be accorded to that King of humans. Therefore, that King of humans will be fully protected, saved, looked after, and guided. His retribution will be reverted, and his peace and happiness ensured. His sublime queen, royal children, retinue of the queen, and all retinues at the royal court will be fully protected, saved, looked after, and guided. Their retribution will be averted, and their peace and happiness ensured. Likewise, all the deities dwelling in the palace will be endowed with heightened majesty, power, inconceivable peace, and bliss. They will experience manifold joy. The cities and lands, too, will be fully protected and looked after, will be without harm and without enemies. They will not be trodden over, harmed, or attacked by rival armies. When he had spoken thus, the great king Vaishravana, the great king Dhritarashtra, the great king Virudabhaka, the great king Virupaksha, addressed the Tathagata in this way: Venerable Transcendent Victor, should a certain king of humans seek to listen to this King of Glorious Sutra, the Sublime Golden Light, seek great protection for himself and for his sublime queen, as well as the princes and princesses and retinue of the queen, should he seek the great, inconceivable, supreme, superior, peerless peace and well-being for the retinue in the palace, should he seek to increase in that life the great, inconceivable power of his sovereign kingship, to become endowed with inconceivable greatness, to hold an incalculable stock of merit, to protect his entire land, guard it, ensure it is without harm, without enemy, and not overrun by rival army, without infectious disease, and without trouble, then, Venerable Transcendent Victor, that King of Human, with an undistracted mind full of respect and veneration, should honor and listen to this King of Glorious Sutra, the Sublime Golden Light. In order to listen to this King of Glorious Sutra, the Sublime Golden Light, that King of Humans will go to the Exalted Palace. Having arrived there, he will sprinkle the palace with waters of various perfumes and strew it with various flowers. When that palace has been sprinkled with waters of various perfumes and strewn with various flowers, he will set up a high Dharma throne, well adorned with various ornaments. That place will be well embellished with various umbrellas, victory banners, and flags. This King of Humans will wash his body and put on well-perfumed clothes, wear new attire, and adorn himself with various ornaments. He will lay a much lower seat for himself. Once seated on that seat, he will cease to be haughty with pride of a king. In that place he will not experience the craving for domain of his kingdom. With a mind that is free from pride, arrogance, and haughtiness, he will listen to the King of Glorious Sutra, the Sublime Golden Light. He will generate awareness that sees the monk who expounds the Dharma as the teacher. At that time and at that moment, the King of Humans will look with affection and kindness upon his sublime queen, princesses, and retinue of the queen. He will speak kind words to his sublime queen, princes, and princesses. He will also speak kind words to the retinue of the queen. To celebrate hearing the Dharma, a myriad of offerings will be assembled. He will satiate himself with previous unfelt, inconceivable joy. He will be blissful through inconceivable joy and peace. His senses will be blissful. He will resolve to achieve the higher purpose. With this great joy, he will gladden himself, feel very joyous. He will receive the expounder of the Dharma. When they had said this to him, the Tathagata said this to the four great kings. O great kings, at that time and at that moment, the King of Humans will clothe himself wholly in white, light-colored, new, beautiful clothing. He will adorn himself exquisitely with various ornaments. He will hold white umbrellas as well, with great royal might and pageantry, taking various auspicious items. He will leave the palace in order to receive the expounder, the Dharma. Why? Because for as many hundreds of thousands of millions of eons as the number of steps he takes there, he will shun cyclic existence. For as many hundreds of thousands of millions of eons as the number of steps he takes, he will obtain Shakvartan kingship. In that life, his royal domain will increase inconceivably by the number of steps he takes. He will obtain expansive dwelling of divine palaces made of the 7 jewels for many hundreds of thousands of millions of eons. A king of the human race, he will obtain numerous hundreds of thousands of noble divine palaces. In all his births he will obtain great domain. He will have longevity. He will sustain life for a long period. He will be endowed with confidence and eloquence. His words will be worthy of remembrance. He will be famous. He will be widely talked about. He will be worthy of praise. He will bring good to the world of gods and humans and demigods. He will obtain magnanimous bliss of gods and humans. He will be powerful. He will possess the powerful strength of a great crowd and will be handsome too. He will be good-looking and attractive. He will be endowed with supreme complexion. In all his births he will meet Tathagatas. He will find virtuous friends. He will hold an incalculable stock of merit. O great king, seeing such benefits of virtue, the king of humans will go nearly 1 league to receive the expounder of the Dharma. He will go 100 leagues, 1,000 leagues to receive the expounder of the Dharma. He will generate a sense of seeing the expounder as the teacher. He will think to himself, today the Tathagata, the Arhat, the fully enlightened Shakyamuni Buddha will enter my palace. Today the Tathagata, the Arhat, the fully enlightened Shakyamuni Buddha will enjoy a meal in my palace. Today I will hear the Tathagata, the Arhat, the fully enlightened Shakyamuni Buddha Dharma, vastly unlike anything in the world. Today, by hearing the Dharma, I will advance irreversibly to the peerless perfect enlightenment. Today will please my many hundreds of thousands of millions of Tathagatas. Today I will make expansive, inconceivably great offerings to past, future, and present Buddhas. Today I will utterly sever the continuum of all suffering for beings in the world of hells, animals, and yama. Today I will plant seeds of virtue to obtain several hundreds of thousands of millions of bodies of a Brahma king. Today I will plant seeds of merit to obtain several hundreds of thousands of millions of bodies of chakra. I will plant seeds of merit to obtain several hundreds of thousands of millions of rebirths as Shakvartan king. Today will be free from cyclic existence for several hundreds of thousands of millions of eons. Today I will hold a stock of merit that is inconceivable, great, vast, and incalculable. Today I will accord great protection to the entire circle of the Queen's retinue. Today, here in the palace, I will give inconceivable, supreme, excellent, matchless, great peace and happiness to beings. Today I will cause the entire land to be protected, guarded, freed from harm and enemies, undefeated by all foreign armies, free of infectious disease and free of conflict. O great king, if that king of humans respect, revere, venerate, and worship bhikshus, bhikshunis, upasakas, and upasikas, who uphold the King of Glorious Sutra, the sublime golden light, out of such devotion to the sublime Dharma, and should he give the best share of merit thus acquired to you, the 4 great kings, along with your armies and retinues, assemblies of gods, and numerous hundreds of thousands of yakshas, then that human king's accumulation of merit and virtue and inconceivable grandeur of his life and royalty will increase greatly. In that life the king will be endowed with inconceivable majesty. He will be adorned with glory, excellent, and majestic charisma. He will utterly rout all adversaries and the enemies in accordance with the Dharma.